All right. Hi, you guys. I'm so excited about our call tonight. It's so good to see all of you. And we had an amazing month last month. And I just want to start by just sharing some amazing wins with you guys and just getting to celebrate some people because this was such a fun month. And the fact that it's, summertime and people are on vacations and doing all kinds of stuff. And I love that we get to celebrate all these amazing wins at the same time. So let me just go ahead and get started with these incredible results. First of all, I want to say huge shout out. I'm going to start with this one. Huge shout out to Miss Megan Zabo for being a very first time ever qualifier. So yay, way to go, Megan. We're so excited for you. That is a huge accomplishment, and you're going to casino night, so that is super fun. Okay, I'm going to read through the qualifiers because this is just a huge thing to be celebrated. So you guys all just amazing job, and I'm going to read these out loud to everyone. So these were the qualifiers, and I'm not going to read from the whole entire team, just from our open group here, but Alina Blood, Peggy Rivera, Brad Bergford, Tiffany Castanino, even while she was on vacation. Isn't that so cool? Jody Riefel, Christy Hunt, Allie Caraveo, again, Megan Zabo, Tara Young, Miss Lita Woods, Kara Gentry, Crystal Alexander, Amy Beth Bolden, Casey Stanfield, Benjamin Young, Sarah Johnsgard, Michelle Nelson, Stephanie Hummel, Kirsten Grubin, Cindy Reynolds, and Orshi. I never know how to say her last name, so we all know who Orshi is. I think I'll just leave it there. But you guys, huge congratulations. Like, what an amazing thing to have that many qualifiers from this team. And I know some of you are working on jumping back in and doing your 2000 plus and then getting going on qualifying your business as well. And that's just super exciting. So I just want to say congratulations again. Okay, so I don't know. Let's see here. Let me just check. I'm going to put it back in gallery view. Oh, good. We had some new people join in. Good old Sarah. Her kids are sick. So you guys think to pray for Sarah's kids this week. Pray for her kids because they are sick. Sarah, I'm glad that you got on. I know that some of you were not on our first call, and I would love for you to introduce yourself if you didn't get to last time we were on, and just tell us your name and tell us, let's see, I'm just trying to think of a fun little fact I can have you guys do. How about one dream that you want to see happen for you and your family by the end of 2018, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and start with Tiffany. Let's start with Tiffany, and then if everybody can just go around and just say your name and one dream you want to see happen.
Okay, my name is Tiffany Castanino from Las Vegas, Nevada. The biggest one I can't share, you stinker.
Okay, well, then think of something else. That's okay.
Number 2 is to have a month-long trip to Hawaii planned. Like have all the details planned and the dates and all of that. That's one I can share because that's a family goal that we have. Our next one. Our first one was to go somewhere for 2 weeks straight, and we did that. So now it's time to go somewhere for a month.
What island? Just so I know. What island?
John really wants to go to the Big Island, but there's like a lot of lava there. So I'm going to try to talk him into Maui again.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
We don't want you melting, so let's pick Maui.
I don't want to melt.
I love it. Who's next?
I can go.
Okay.
Well, I did go on the first call, so I'm introducing myself. My name is Sarah Bergford, and I am Bree Bergford's daughter and Brad Bergford's direct downline, just for the record. Okay, recording. And I don't have a family of my own, but that would be my goal. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Well, I'm just kidding. I would love, just in all seriousness, I think Juice Plus can provide me for the means to be close to my family right now and where I could stay where I want to be. And so that would just be my dream, is to go where I want to go, whether it's where Jen is in Uganda or at home with my family. I think that would provide me just the opportunity to do what I want, because what the heck, I'm 21, I can do it. So that's my dream.
Hey guys, I'll go because I don't know if the internet will go out or not. The joy of being in Uganda. But I'm Jen Robertson, and most everybody knows mine, but I am it's going to happen, move to Syria/Israel. So I'm excited about that. And yeah, there we go.
I love it, Jen. And it's 5 a.m. in Uganda right now, and this girl got up and went to the hotel lobby to get on this call. That's some dedication, Jen. We love it. Who's next? So if you're just getting on, we're sharing our name and a dream that you have for yourself or your family by the end of the year. Lita, you're up. I'm going to start calling on people.
Oh, I thought we were only going if we weren't on last time. Okay.
Well, I realized that a lot of people haven't gotten to meet, so we'll just go ahead and do everybody real quick.
Cool. I'm Lita. I think a goal right now for us is to get like a solid vacation in this year. We are well overdue and we are both in need. So we are excited to plan and get it done because we're both in need for some good R&R.
I love it.
I'll just follow that because that's exactly what Benjamin and I have been talking about doing. My name is Tara. I'm down in Texas, and my husband and I have not been on a legitimate vacation without family or children ever because we got pregnant on our wedding night. So literally every trip we've been on, we've had a little person around. We're excited. 5-year anniversary coming up in December.
Nice. Awesome. Who's next?
I'll go. I'm Sarah Johnsgard. Thanks for praying for my kiddos. Our goal is by the end of this year to pay off all of our debt, including our taxes. So it's a very exciting goal.
That's huge and awesome. I love it. Thank you for sharing. Who's next? Bethany, are you somewhere where you can share? Or Allie? Moni, how about you?
Hey guys, sorry, I just took a bite of food.
That's okay. I can have Moni go first.
Or, yeah, do that.
Okay, Moni, go ahead.
Okay. Hey everyone, I'm Monica Alexander and I am Hungarian, so my biggest dream for our family, it's not going to be by end of this year, but for next summer, that I would love to go back and visit my family. All of us, all 5 of us, go back for the whole summer.
Oh, that's so cool. I love that, Moni. Thanks for sharing. Okay, Bethany, you're up.
I don't know how to fix my camera right now, but
You're good.
Let's talk. Hey everybody, I'm Bethany. I'm in Indy. I know one of the things I'd like to do is unpack. We haven't actually really done that since we moved. Life's been a little crazy, a little topsy-turvy. But I think I'd love to, I don't know. My husband and I, we're celebrating our 10-year anniversary in November, and I'd love to get away with him. He just thinks he wants to go to Chicago, but I'm thinking way farther than Chicago. I also, for my business, I want to qualify my business. I don't know. I'm just kind of really over not being qualified. So I'm really excited about that. I'm looking forward to qualify my business this summer.
That's awesome. All right, girl. I love it. Who's next? Okay, maybe the other people are not in a place where they can unmute. Oh, Brad, do you want to go?
Hi. Sorry, I had to unmute there. I would like to do a road trip with my family.
That was 3 years ago, right? That we went on that 3-week road trip. So our first family vacation was 3 years ago. Super fun. I would love to do that again.
Which one are you talking about? The California one?
Yep.
/ Oregon?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was really fun. I love it. Well, you guys, thanks for dreaming with us for a few minutes. And if any of you couldn't unmute, but you want to share, I would love for you guys to share it in the chat box below. But this is so fun. I just really am excited. Some of you guys were not able to be on last time, and I just want to really create some incredible community within this group. And I'm really excited because some of you have really not gotten to spend a lot of time with each other. And I love each and every one of you guys, and you're also special to me. And so I just wanted to be able to kind of let all of you get to know each other. One of my favorite hobbies is to see my friends get to be friends with each other and to really connect and just to get to watch that. And it's so fun. So, whether it's at conference or whether it's that they start a Voxer chat together or whatever it is, I love that. And I think it's so fun when we can just share friends with each other. And what that has done for this community as a whole has just been pretty incredible. And so anyway, I just thought it was fun to kind of bring that to this team and to do these calls every other week. And so that's the plan, is to do them every other Monday night. And just I want to celebrate kind of in this smaller group, be able to really celebrate the wins and talk about the other things. Oh, and I also wanted to mention that Kendra Good actually did her HLP. So that was the other promotion that we had this last month. So congratulations, Kendra. I'm not sure if she's on. She might be the one that just says Mac, but I'm not positive. Anyway, Kendra, congratulations when you catch this recording. So proud of you for doing your HLP and bringing on a new rep as well. So, okay, Allie posted something. Let's see. I have a goal of paying off our last finance car and to get back to my family in California for Christmas with Juice Plus money. That's awesome. And if I think about it too much, I will totally cry. But Allie, that's pretty different from a couple Christmases ago. So glad that you said yes and that you finally decided to go to an event with me after I invited you for 4 years. So anyway, it's just really cool. I love that you guys are all here. So I want you guys to think about something. I want you to think about the answer to a question. I'm not going to have anyone answer, so don't worry. I'm not going to put you on the spot and make you answer this. But I want you guys to really think about, what is it that you want? What is it that you want? I asked you guys about a dream before the end of the year, and some of you were on our fast track calls the other night. On Thursday night is when we did them, because it was not 4th of July. We had to do it the next night. But one of the things that we asked on there, and I'm going to kind of couple this with what do you want? I want you guys to think about this, because if you weren't on those calls, I want you to get a little taste of this and to think about it, because I think it's a great exercise. I want to encourage you guys to think about the top 3 outcomes that you want for 2018. So I asked you, what dream do you have for your family by the end of the year, or for yourself? But at the same time, I want to say, what is it that you really want? So think about your business. And again, I'm not going to make you answer this, but I would love for you guys to write it down. Even if you did this the other night on the call, I actually did put some of you on the spot and make you guys share, but I'm not going to do that tonight. But I want you to think about that and think about if anything has changed as you've been thinking about it. Because some of you guys were on that call, but some of you weren't. And I would love to encourage you to think about that, because it's so important to have a plan. It's so important to have a vision. And there's a scripture that says, without vision, the people perish. And so I just want to encourage you guys to have a vision for what it is that you want. When you look at the rest of 2018, I mean, here we are in July. So we're, a little bit more than halfway through this year. And I want you to think about, what would it look like if you chose to really make either that dream come true that you just told us about, or if you decided that you have these top 3 outcomes that you really want to see happen in your business, and you want those to happen by the end of the year. I'm really going to encourage you, and this is something that I learned from Linda Evenden. If you guys don't know who she is, she's amazing. She's a 100 Club NMD out of Australia. And she talks about, when you have the thing that it is that you want, whether it's a goal, whether it's a paycheck amount, whatever it is, she says, stand guard over it. Okay, so I'm going to encourage you guys to do that. Stand guard over it, whether it's your time, whether it's the people that you're talking to with Juice Plus. Stand guard over those goals and those dreams, because I think we all know this, but the days are going to come and the days are going to go. And Sean Myers will say, 5 years is going to come and go. It just depends on what you decide to do, what those next 5 years are going to look like. Because if you don't do anything to change it, they're going to look the same as the last 5 years, right? But if you decide that you really want to make a change, or you really have that goal, and, this is something that I love that Sarah, our daughter, brought to my attention. She told me one time, she's like, I don't think I want to do Juice Plus like you do, like it's your, it's like the only thing you do. I think I want it to be like Catherine Lee, where it's my so that I can do other things that I want. And I'm just looking at Jen here. She's like up in my screen right here, and I'm seeing her and thinking about her wanting to go and be there in Israel and Syria and make a difference in the lives of those people. She wants to do Juice Plus so that she can do this. Allie is thinking so that she can take her family home. But I know that she's got even bigger plans than that for her family and for bringing her husband home down the road and all those kinds of things. So I want you guys to know that there's no right or wrong answer, but I just want to encourage you to think about those questions. So 1, what do you want? And I don't know if you guys are anything like me, but sometimes, like, especially before Juice Plus, I would never take the time to sit down and think about that, because I was kind of like just in this like mode of like hustle and bustle, and you're a mom and you're taking care of things for everyone. And I still remember years ago, Brad took me out to coffee, and it was really because he and Alina were planning this whole surprise party thing, but he took me out to coffee, and it's crazy that I still totally remember this like it was yesterday. And I don't know, was this maybe when I turned 30 when I had this party? I'm not even sure. But he took me out to a coffee shop. We're sitting there, and I remember, like, the kids were at home. It was just the two of us at this coffee shop, and he was like, what does your heart want? Like, what do you need? And I remember looking at him like he was from another planet. And I was like, I have no idea, what do you even mean? And he just like sat there so patiently. Well, he was trying to kill time, but that's not the only reason that he asked me this, but he really wanted to know. But it's funny because we weren't in a hurry. I felt like I could totally just like breathe, we weren't like rushing around. And I never have forgotten that question. Like, what does your heart want? Like, what is it that you need? And he was like, what do you need from me? And how can I, like give you whatever it is that you need? And that was an amazing question, but I don't think anyone really ever asked me that, like growing up. I don't think I even knew how to think about that. So I want to give you guys that permission. I told that whole story just to give you permission to think about that for yourself. What is it that you want? And then when you think about those top 3 outcomes that you want to achieve, or, even the dreams of your heart that you aren't ready to share yet. Like Tiffany's got something huge that her family is dreaming about that she's not going to share yet. But what are those things that are even maybe deeper that nobody knows about except maybe just you? Or maybe just you and your spouse. And I want you to think about what it's going to take to achieve those, and I want you to stand guard over it. And I'm encouraging myself to do the same thing. Stand guard over those things that you kind of put a fence around it. My upline, Linda Shellhammer, always has told me that from the beginning. Like, when you're going to do your Juice Plus stuff, you put a fence around it, and that's when you do that. If you're going to go and do something with your family, you put a fence around that, and you just, you do that, and you be kind of all in wherever you are. So I wanted to share that with you guys because I think it's just, it's cool when we can give each other permission to dream. But I think if we only give each other permission to dream and we don't call each other to like step up into that and like really be diligent to stand guard over it, I think it's really easy for life to just happen in 6 months or a year down the road. We're exactly where we were before because we didn't stand guard over that. And it doesn't have to look like every minute you're doing Juice Plus or it's your everything or whatever, but it just means even if you only have 15 minutes a day, I would really encourage you guys to stand guard over that. And that's really good, Jen. She said, wherever you are, be all there. Jen Elliott is one of my favorites, so I love that. Thanks for sharing that, Jen. Okay, so I'm going to switch gears a little bit, but I hope that that encouraged you guys, and I would love to hear if you guys want to box me later. Like if you want to share with me your top 3 outcomes for 2018 and what you want to see, I would love that, and it would be really special for me to be able to have those. So if you guys want to send this to me, I'd love to do that to help kind of be the dream keeper, if you will, for you, and so that we can do that for each other, because I think it's easy sometimes to forget. We might say what our top 3 outcomes are, and then life kind of happens, and it's easy to forget that. So I really want to encourage you guys to have those dreams, but to reach out to someone. It doesn't have to be me, but reach out to your upline or to a sideline or somebody and tell them what your dream is and what your plan is for those outcomes, and let them hold you accountable and let them help you stand guard over it. Okay, so you guys, switching gears, I started reading this book today, And it's really good. So first of all, let me put it back in gallery mode. And I want to see show of hands. Has anyone ever heard of this book or read it? It's called Love Does by Bob Goff. Anybody? Okay. Anyway, somebody, like, I've been hearing about this book. You know how this happens sometimes where all of a sudden, like, everyone is telling you, go read this book, and you're kind of like, okay, I don't even know what this book is. And I actually bought it for Brad. Sorry, honey, I hijacked your book. But I bought it for Brad, and I started reading it today at the pool.
Sorry, I didn't read it.
No, it's fine. I'll let you read it when I'm done. But now it's mine for a little while. So it's really good. And I just wanted to read a couple of things because I also had a conversation with a dear friend today. And we had just a really great conversation about just life and love and loving people well and loving people where they're at and kind of being that hope and that light for other people when they need us, because I don't know about you, but sometimes we just need that. We need a friend that's going to be there, that's going to listen. And I hope and pray that this will totally encourage you guys as you are out there living life, because we all know we're not just sharing Juice Plus with people, right? Like, we're offering hope in all kinds of different areas. And I just feel like we're building community in ways that people don't even know they need it. I don't know how many of you were on the freshman call tonight, but one of the things that I shared in my story was how amazing it is to even hear the things that go well beyond the financial, the like health stories of Juice Plus. You know, the community things are huge, but I even talked about how the fact that there are people who have told me that they don't think their marriage would have survived, or they don't think their marriage would be as strong as it is without this business and with all the growth that they've had. And those kind of things just get me so excited because it's so much bigger than fruits and veggies in a capsule. I said that weird. Fruits and veggies in a capsule, you know? And so I just wanted to share a little excerpt from this book. It's not me trying to say, go read the book. I've really only read like the first chapter and the foreword, but I just, for whatever it's worth, I wanted to share a couple things in here because I think this is what we as reps really want to be like. You know, we've talked about being contagious, and we've talked about just loving people well. And, you know, Wendy Campbell always says it, but it really is true that we will love you whether you do a little bit or a lot. And there's something that Jody Riefel always says, and I love it. She says, I'll always leave the light on for you. And so I love that too, but just kind of thinking about the fact that we are called to just love people and to really show that in action. And so I'm just going to share a little bit of this. Okay. So this is the foreword. So this is written by somebody else. And I don't know about you, but this would be pretty amazing if someone ever wrote a foreword in a book about you. So I want you to think about yourself as I read this, because I was like, this would be crazy if someone ever said these things about me. And so I want you to listen just to a little part of this. Okay. Hang on, where did I put little notes here to see? Okay. So this guy says, I don't know how to explain Bob's love, except to say that it's utterly and delightfully devastating. You simply cannot live the same once you know him. He will wreck your American dream, but help you find your actual dream. He will wreck your crappy marriage and help you find a love story. To know Bob is to have a facade that you've spent your life maintaining beautifully, strewn to ruins, while, like a friend, he comes alongside you as you rebuild. Bob has offered to get on a plane on my day of trouble, called exactly when I needed him to, spoken a word of truth when I was being bombarded with lies, given me a family, given me a home, given me a vision for what can happen in a person's life when they are devoted to giving their life away. I was like, whoa, this guy's like this is a lot of big statements that he's saying about this person. Okay. This book will be troubling for some. We don't like to put hands and feet on love. When love is just a theory, it's safe and it's free of risk. But love in the brain changes nothing. Bob believes that love is too beautiful a concept to keep locked up behind a forehead like a prisoner. Those I've introduced Bob to, and there have been many, find it hard to put into words what is different about him. But the title of this book says it all. Where you and I may want love and feel love to say love. I said that weird again. Hold on. Where you and I may want love and feel love and say love, Bob reminds us that love does things. Does that make sense? So it's about like what it does, not what it says. It writes a letter and it gets on a plane. It orders pizza and it jumps in the lake. It hugs, it prays, it cries, and it sings. Much of what we've come to know and believe about love doesn't ring true once you know this man whose love does. What a privilege to introduce you to my friend, Bob Goff. Anyway, so then he talks about the reason that this guy, at the very beginning, he says, the reason Bob has impacted my life is because he loved me. So again, this reminded me of this conversation that I had with a sweet friend today of just talking about how important it is sometimes for us to just show up and love somebody, because sometimes that's the thing that somebody needs. And if Juice Plus comes up, then awesome. But if it doesn't, that's okay too, because hopefully we made them feel loved. There's a story in here that I'm not going to read this part, but this is kind of crazy. This guy, this is where this guy Bob learned it. He said when he was in high school, he was struggling with something. And the short version of the story is he showed up at this guy's house, and this guy was like an older guy who used to come around the high school and like hang out with the kids and stuff. And anyway, he showed up at his house and said, hey, I want to go to Yosemite right now, and I'm like struggling, and I don't know if I want to finish high school. And so the guy looked at him and said, hang on, give me a minute. Bob, I'm with you. And Bob was kind of like, what are you talking about? So like 5 minutes later, the guy comes and he has a backpack and he's like, I'm ready to go. And Bob was like, what are you talking about? He's like, I'm with you, Bob. I told you I'm with you wherever you want to go. So they went to Yosemite. Like, long story short, they spent a few days there. This is kind of a crazy story, and it's true. This guy like spent a few days with him there, didn't rush him to come home. Finally, Bob realized, he was 16. Okay, I really don't have the money, and no one's willing to hire me in Yosemite, and I can't get a job, and we don't have much gas to get home. I probably need to go back to high school. So he decides to go back to high school. When he goes to drop back this guy off at his house, he's like, well, the guy's girlfriend was there. And he's like, I was kind of like, well, I feel bad that his girlfriend was just there and he was gone for a few days. Well, he walked in with this guy. So Bob, the guy that this book, that wrote this book, walks in the house, and this girlfriend really was the wife. He didn't know this. They got married 5 days before this. So 2 days before, this guy just got in a car and drove with this high school kid. He had just gotten married, and they had just gotten back from their honeymoon, and he asked his wife. She said it was okay, and he left. So this guy Bob was like, I mean, it totally makes me want to cry. This guy Bob was like, oh my gosh, this guy left his brand new wife. Like when he walked in, they were unpacking wedding presents. And he said, I couldn't believe it. I had no idea that was what was going on in his life, but he dropped everything because he saw this kid that was about to make a really bad decision, and he just wanted me to know that he was with me. So the point of this, and I don't know who might need to hear this tonight, but this was on my heart kind of all day, and I really just wanted to share with you guys, because I think sometimes we can miss the bigger picture when we're thinking, okay, I've got to talk to this person about Juice Plus, or, oh, I've got to do this, or I've got to, and we kind of get in this list or this thing of I got to do all the things on my list. Well, sometimes I think we just need to love the person in front of us. And so it just really kind of was on my heart today. And there are a couple other things that I wanted to share with you guys. So are you guys good if I share a little bit more from this? So I think it's pretty valuable. Okay, I'm getting a lot of nods. Okay, so, all right, here, just a few more minutes. Okay, so this is kind of interesting. Again, remember, I'm only one chapter in, and this wasn't really meant to be like a book report, but I just thought that this was kind of cool in light of what I was talking about the top 3 outcomes and all that. So, okay, so here's Bob, and this is in that first chapter here. Here's a strange truth I've noticed. Almost everyone knows about Tom Sawyer Island at Disneyland, but most people don't go. Maybe it's because it's surrounded by water and you have to take a raft to get there. But it's really not that tough to do. Lots of people want to go. Some people even plan to go, but most forget or just don't get around to it. It's one of those, we'll do that next trip kinds of places for a lot of people. Tom Sawyer Island is like most people's lives. I think they just never get around to crossing over to it. Living a life fully engaged and full of whimsy and the kind of things that love does is something most people plan to do. But along the way, they just kind of forget. Their dreams become one of those, we'll go there next time deferrals. The sad thing is, for many, there is no next time, because passing on the chance to cross over is an overall attitude toward life rather than a single decision. They need a change of attitude, not more opportunities. So many business truths in this. Okay, there are no admission requirements at Tom Sawyer Island. It doesn't matter how tall or short you are, old or young, religious or not. There are no lines on Tom Sawyer Island. It can really be whatever you want it to be. You can do countless things there. Most of them involve running and jumping and using your creativity and imagination. It's a place where you can go and just do stuff. In that way, it's a place that mirrors life well. at least the opportunity to do much with our lives. From my office on Tom Sawyer Island, I have a fantastic perch to look around and see how a sea of people live. Tom Sawyer Island is not a ride. It's not about distraction or thrills, and it's not the kind of place you go to be entertained either. It has all the potential that you bring to it, nothing more and nothing less. I'm going to read that one again because it's so like our business, right? It has all the potential that you bring to it, nothing more, nothing less. To find out just how much that is, all you have to do is show up. You don't need a plan, you just need to be present. Somewhere in each of us, I believe there's a desire for a place like Tom Sawyer Island, a place where the stuff of imagination, whimsy, and wonder are easier to live out, not to just think about and put off until next time. This is a weighty thing to think about on my island, but I often consider what I'm tempted to call the greatest lie of all time. This is so good. And that lie can be bound up in 2 words: someone else. On Tom Sawyer Island, I think about the fact that, I lost my train of thought. On Tom Sawyer Island, I reflect on God, who didn't choose someone else to express his creative presence to the world, who didn't tap the rock star or the popular kid to get things done. He chose you and me. We are the means, the method, the object, and the delivery vehicles. Anybody can be used for sure. If you can shred on a fender or you won best personality, you're not disqualified. It just doesn't make you more qualified. You see, usually ordinary people like us are the ones to get things done. As I sit on my island, it becomes clear that we need to stop plotting the course and instead just land the plane on our plans to make a difference by getting to the do part. That's because love is never stationary. In the end, love doesn't just keep thinking about it or keep planning for it. Simply put, love does. And so again, I just want to remind you guys, as we talked about the plans and the dreams that you had, whether it was just for yourself or if you have a family, for your family, I want to encourage you guys to go after those things and to stand guard over it, because love does. When I think about, I don't want to start picking out and leaving anyone out, but just the one that first came to my mind was Moni talking about going back to Hungary. And I don't even know how long it's been since she's gotten to go there and take her kids and her husband, but to be able to go back there, I can't imagine living in a totally different country than your family and wanting to go back there and visit and not feeling like you have the means to do it. But what an amazing thing to have that dream and that goal, because love does. And so sometimes that's going to cause us to do different things in our business. But at the same time, this really isn't about our business. So it's kind of both. I feel like there were a lot of things in there that were great. So I'm not saying 2 different things. I'm just saying I think it's kind of both. I think we need to be willing to kind of have our hands open with our business. And if something amazing happens and we get to have this great conversation with someone, awesome. But if at the end of the day, all we got to do was show up and say, Allie, I'm with you. Jen, I'm with you. Tara, I'm with you. If it was just that, sometimes I think that that's the most important thing that we can do. And Juice Plus will happen along the way. But I think it's just important for us to remember that loving people well is what we're called to do anyway. And when we do that, I think that there's just a whole lot of open doors that happen for our businesses too. But so I'm going to encourage you guys to stand guard over that and choose to do those things to continue to love people, and what that's going to do for your family, or how they're going to be thanking you later for the fact that you did choose to show up and you did choose to use that imagination. And, nobody made you do it, but you got to just do it. So anyway, I hope all that made sense. It made sense in my head before I explained it all to you guys. But I hope that was encouraging and just kind of, freed you up in a sense. Again, I hope that my conversation with this friend of mine today, I hope it freed her up to know, it doesn't have to be performance, right? But at the same time, because we all love each other, I think sometimes we say, hey, you have something in your hands that you can give someone that can totally change their life. So I think that there's kind of both sides of it. So I don't know, does anybody have any thoughts before we close up? I hope that really encouraged you guys.
I have some thoughts.
Okay.
As my baby is waking up crying. Hopefully she doesn't cry too long. But she's the reason I wanted to come up here. Let me turn off the monitor. Hold on.
Okay.
Beeping at me. As I shared last week, or whenever we had this call, we are a new foster family. We've been fostering officially for just over 2 months. And we've had the girls for almost 2 months got a 2.5-year-old and a almost 7-month-old baby. And then we have a 3.5-year-old, almost 4, who's so excited to get his Juice Plus on his birthday. It's the best ever. But this whole idea and concept and mission of Love Does has almost forced me to have a different perspective with my business. And I'm not sure that I really like it right now because I miss my work and I miss the attention I used to be able to put to my work. But God's really been humbling my heart towards this new work that I get to do. And I'm having to say no to a lot of things that I would normally say yes to, like weddings for my cousins or Christmas with my family, because I have greater work and a greater mission here right now. And I'm so thankful for a loving husband who's in it with me. Like, he's been my I'm with you person over the last couple of weeks, because y'all, it is like the greatest and the hardest work we have ever done. But knowing that we're here because of our Juice Plus business and the freedom that we have with me being home and still earning a fantastic 4-figure income per month to be home with these kids and allowing my husband to have the freedom to come home midday if he needs to. I mean, you hear her crying, poor baby, but it's a big deal. So when you guys are at that place and you get to step into that role of action, love action, it's crazy. And the whole point of me saying this was business has been, like, my paycheck went down this last month, but the month before was up almost $300. And that was my first month as a foster mom. And I did nothing with my business, but God continued to bring people to me. God continued to bring the people that either needed to hear just a hi from me or needed to hear from me about Juice Plus. So when you, like Bree just said, having your hands open towards whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's your attention to your kids or your attention to your business, God shows up in really amazing ways. Even when you're not necessarily looking for it, it's almost like he has to whap you a little and be like, Tara, it's here. Like, you're doing it. So I wanted to just be vulnerable and raw for a minute. And I'm like shaking, saying that. But anyway, that's my heart for you tonight.
That's awesome, Tara. Thank you so much. Anybody else before we close up the call? I just feel so thankful you guys are all on. It's really special to see all your faces on here together. I love it. Anybody?
Hey, it's Bethany.
Hey.
I just want to kind of echo what Tara says, and this work that I've been doing has been the hardest work. As I walk through hard stuff with my husband, he had to care for his grandmother who was slowly dying over the course of the past 6 months, and the past 4 months, and then she passed away on Good Friday. So being that person and having that person, like I wouldn't have been able to do much of anything if I didn't have my mom being that person for me, and in turn being that person for him. But I tell you, you guys, if you get in there and you be that person, you will gain so much, not respect, but trust from the person that you are there for. Because this has just taken our relationship to a whole nother level, because I've been able to buckle down and pray and be that anchor for him in this crazy, I feel like I want to say valley of the shadow of death, because it felt like that. But being on the other side of it now, and all of the benefits of being steadfast are, I'm sure that we'll reap it for years and years to come, but it's worth it. And if you're going through hard things, be that person, because they need it. When you go through hard things like that, you can't stand on your own too. Sometimes you need to lean on people. So we've had to learn how to lean, and I've just been leaning on the Holy Spirit. And he's enough. He really is enough. But I'm going to also post a link to a message that we heard at church on yesterday, because it definitely flows along these same lines. If I can find it, I'll post it in the group chat. It's about discipleship, and it talks about exactly this: doing life with somebody, no matter if it's messy or weird or uncomfortable or awkward, but just getting there and doing the Great Commission, because that's what Jesus told us. He told us to do. He said, go and make disciples. And if we can't do the one thing that Jesus told us to do, then what are we doing, y'all? So that's that's my little blurb about this. But thanks for sharing that, Bree. That was really rich.
Well, thanks for sharing, Bethany. Well, you guys, you are awesome. I love you dearly, and it was really good to hear. And if you guys want to share with me, I'd love to hear. If you want to send me a box later about your top 3 outcomes you want to see, or anything else that kind of spoke to you about this, that would be awesome. So you guys have a good night. Love you all, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye. Oh, Brad?